I'm Lily Jang with KHOU. Do what you like and live your modern life.
This is Gregory Harris of Modern Life Mag, and I'm here with Lily Jang of KHOU 11.
Yes. What's going on?
Yes, so let's get this interview started. So how's your modern life been, Lily Jang?
My modern life, how do I describe my life? I would say busy, hectic, sleep deprived, and always on my phone. This thing is never out of my hand. Social media is just what I do all day, 24/7 as a journalist these days.
So for those who don't know who Lily Jang is, how would you describe her?
Lily Jang is super focused, very punctual, and working on being in the moment more, which means putting down this phone. I mean, I think as a journalist now, everything I do involves social media. Everything I do is on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. I can't put it down.
Right.
And then I'm missing what's happening around me, so I'm working on that. That's Lily Jang, being in the moment.
Right. So with having that same attitude about keeping things fast forward and being forward thinking, so what inspired you to become a reporter?
You know what, I grew up in Copperfield,
right.
In Northwest Houston. I remember sitting in front of the television on a Saturday night and telling my mom I was watching Channel 13, and there was this reporter at the scene of a crime, and I think it was a drive-by shooting, and I was watching it, and I said to my parents, that's what I want to do. I want to be in the middle of everything, tell stories. Everyone's got a story. I want to be the one to deliver it.
So with those humble beginnings of being interested in reporting and journalism at that particular time, you turned into one of the premier reporters of Houston's premier stations, and also having that background being from here, how can you describe your upbringing in Houston, Texas?
You know what? Everything I know about my life as an adult, I grew up here. I'm from here, my family is from here, so every story that I write and report on, I care deeply about, because this is my community. So everything that is happening, I feel like I know exactly, I know that neighborhood. I grew up near there. This is what happened when I grew up. I have a connection to everything in the city. I love that.
Right, so growing up in Houston, how has that benefited you as far as reporting? How did it benefit you as far as like giving that creative edge in your style of reporting?
I was exposed to so much culturally. The city is so diverse that really shaped what I wanted to do. I want to cover the city, and there's so many things to cover. There's so many aspects of Houston that I think the world doesn't even know. That we're more diverse than New York City.
Right.
I love that. So everything that, to circle around to answer your question, everything that I cover here, I deeply care about, because it's my hometown.
And speaking on that topic of diversity, you also went to University of Texas. Describe your experiences there. You know
what? University of Texas was interesting because I went to journalism school and I didn't do well enough to stay. I flunked out. Okay. My professor told me, you have to keep B's. I got C's, so I got kicked out of journalism school. She said I didn't have the look. She said I didn't have the voice. She said I didn't have what it takes. So I left journalism school. I went into aeronautical engineering to get my GPA back up, which I did. I don't know how I got a 4.0. So I got that GPA back up, went back into journalism, and pursued my passion. I mean, who does that, right?
Exactly.
Who does that?
In particular engineering, you just was so far off of what your pathway was at that time. So, and then with going to UT, and you leapfrogged all the way to Seattle. So describe your experiences in Seattle and comparing them to your experiences in Houston as far as your career in journalism.
Yeah, so when I graduated UT, I went to Amarillo, small town. That was my first job. Spent a year there, then went to CBS in Alabama. Spent 2 years there covering the community. And then Seattle, I was there for 12 years. I don't know that it was very different. I just know that I had a lot of bad hair days there because it rained all the time. But big city problems, Seattle, you got them. Big city problems here, you have it too.
Wow. And then, like, as far as like the sports and just the people there, how would you compare those people to Houstonians?
Oh my gosh, let me think. I went to so many Seattle Mariners games. I love the sports scene. I actually felt like it was more of a community there. It's a little bit of a smaller city. I went to all the Seahawks games. Come back here. Football is king in Texas. We love our football.
Indeed.
There's a little bit of a fiery passion we have here with football that
They don't have that.
I can't even say they don't have it, but we have this edge. We're kind of a little more rude and raw, even though the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, but whatever. We'll be back. We'll be back.
Yes. And you're known for your electric attitude, which is gravitating. From connecting to people on social media and relating to them actually in real life and in-person interviews and stuff with them as well, what influenced you to be so down to earth with your viewers?
Thank you. I feel like everybody I talk to on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, anybody who interacts with me, everybody has a story. I love talking to people. They are the source of so many things that I can go to and report on. And I think that's been part of my success too, just being able to interact, inform, engage, inspire. Those things on social media, and that I've been able to embrace it.
All right, and I feel like that was a great accomplishment as well. I think being mentioned on the Huffington Post list as far as the 16 most, I think, energetic or most forward-thinking woman in journalism. I was like, wow, that's a great accomplishment as somebody coming from Houston and being an inspiration for aspiring journalists as well.
Thank you.
So with the new age of journalism moving in the direction of social media and thinking, forward thinking and having the future of journalism being in that particular aspect, what are 3 tips can you give aspiring journalists when using social media?
You know what? I think the first thing is embrace social media. When I first got into this business 18 years ago, we didn't have Google. We didn't have the internet. I had to go to the library to look on microfilm, microfiche, and I'm old, okay? So I had to do that. These days, the story comes to you. Everybody you talk to on social media has a story that's worth reporting. There's something. Embrace social media. Engage with your followers. Inform them. Inspire. Just really embrace it.
So aside from being one of Houston's favorite personalities, what are some things you like to do in your free time?
I really love traveling. I have a really fun story too. I was in Europe last summer. I was in Ireland by myself before I met up with my friends in London. So I get on the plane from Ireland, going to London, and I'm by myself. I'm a little hungover, maybe, okay? So I'm sitting there, and these guys get on the plane, and they're so loud and obnoxious, and they're knocking things into me on accident. And I was like, dude, you owe me a drink. You owe me a beer, because you guys are so loud. I'm so Anyway, so we're chatting the whole time. And we land in London, and this guy goes, hey, look at the front row up there. Look at first class. There's Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel. We're their backup singers. So what are you doing for the next few nights? So my friends and I in London were backstage at JTJZ. Wow. I have video of this. We're sitting there, and like Jay-Z walks by, Macklemore walks by. It was just insane. It was awesome. So I've loved traveling. I know, I run into these weird things all the time. So
we're saying that, like, that trip being, very compelling and very, interesting as well. Was that your favorite place to visit as far as vacations?
Favorite. I think probably the most profound place I've gone back to is where I was born. A few years ago, I went back to the little neighborhood in this tiny village where I was born in Vietnam.
Okay.
I went back full circle. And all these places my parents would just tell me as I was a kid growing up, this is where you lived. This is where we would take you all the time. I went there in person, and these places are still there. And it was pretty magical to see this foreign culture that was who I would be if I never came to America. Yeah, it was really cool.
I was saying that if you were a tour guide for the city, what would be the go-to place to get something to eat?
To eat?
To eat.
Oh my gosh, okay. I grew up with my dad as a chef.
Okay.
He had Chinese restaurants growing up, so I've always been very interested in the culinary scene. My boyfriend now is an executive chef at his restaurant right down the street, 1111. Wow. 3-4 times a week he'll catch me there. If you love southern seafood, coastal foods, fried foods, comfort food, that's where to go. But I think we're so lucky to have so much in Houston, and I think it's one of the most exciting culinary scenes, like Vegas, New York, LA. We have the sushi restaurants like Uchi, gosh, KHOU out in Memorial City, Nara, great Korean. It is just like across the board. We have everything. And Killen's, one of my favorites. Killen's Steakhouse, we've got Killen's Barbecue now. You name it, I love it. So your question was, where do I love to go? Every other night I'll be out doing something because there's so many restaurants to try, and you don't even have to keep going to the same one. You can try one every week, and you don't stop. There's just so many. Yeah, we're pretty lucky.
Being such a, not a junkie, but an enthusiast about Houston food and its culture, what are three things that you love about Houston?
3 things I love about Houston. After living in Seattle for 12 years, and as a beautiful town, I love the sunshine here.
Okay.
I love the diversity here, more diverse than New York, as I said, and I love the food scene. We can rival any city as a metropolitan city being one of the best. Yeah.
So we're saying that before we close out, what inspires you to be the spokesperson for what's going on in the city of Houston?
Oh, there's so many causes I believe in. There's so many causes, and I just think that if you love what you do, and you love giving back, and you love paying it forward, it's really easy to jump on a bandwagon and support these nonprofits that I do all the time when I MC things. But I love my community, and I'm so lucky to be here, working here. This is a dream job in my hometown. It's easy to do all these things because you love it.
Well, I'm Gregory Harris of Modern Life Mag, and I'm here with Jang of KHOU.
Bye-bye.
Do what you like and live your modern life.